And so what I paid for this Pepsi was $4. I did the math on a 6-pack at the local grocery store, works out to 83 cents. But we're happy to pay that.
You're gonna meet someone who's an innovator, you're gonna meet someone who is a forward thinker, you're gonna meet someone who built his whole company on consistent customer service.
Normally a Coke Zero drinker, but they had, there's one more of you out there, that's fantastic. But I bought a Pepsi Zero this time, and it's right in the lobby, super convenient. They call themselves a convenience store. And so what I paid for this Pepsi was $4. I did the math on a 6-pack at the local grocery store, works out to 83 cents. But we're happy to pay that. If we're on the airplane, that $4 goes to $8. If you're at the ballpark, it might go to $12. But you're there. It's convenient. And there's a price on convenience. So when we talk about convenience, we're not talking to you today about devaluing your practice, but we're talking about adding value to it. And so we're going to look at retail a little bit and how the rest, as Chris said, bring yourself out of your practice for a minute, but in every part of the process, companies from their messaging to their, to how you order, to how you pay, to how you pick up, they're incorporating conveniences. And we're gonna look at a few examples. One of them is Domino's Pie Pass. With the Domino's Pie Pass, it's an app you put on your phone, and you can give it the permissions that you want to give it, but essentially you can order your pizza, you can track its progress, you can get notifications of when it's coming, but not only that, as you're driving to the store, it's telling the store how close you are. When you get into the parking lot, it says automatically to Domino's, hey, you are in the parking lot, put their pizza on the counter fresh and hot for them so that when they walk in, they just walk right up and grab their pizza and walk out. And so these are some of the things that have been brought into retail through innovation. Another one, Chris's favorite place,
Starbucks, right?
We always go to a Starbucks.
Where are my Starbucks fans? Show me my Starbucks fans, right? Loud and proud, come on, Starbucks fans, right? Okay, so now here's the irony. I don't drink coffee.
No,
how is that possible that someone who loves
Starbucks... You're a psychopath.
Right? I'm abnormal. I drink green tea lemonade with 2 pumps liquid cane, please. All right, so I want to talk to you about Starbucks from this perspective. If you ever had a chance to meet Howard Schultz, you're going to meet someone who's an innovator, you're going to meet someone who is a forward thinker, you're going to meet someone who's built his whole company on consistent customer service. When he launched the technology for the app, there was a goal that they wanted to achieve. They wanted to provide convenience to their customers, but they also wanted to make it easier for the processes internally. So they were the first one to really put out an app in 2009. 2014 took them 5 years to get to advanced ordering, mobile ordering. How many of you use your Starbucks app to mobile order? Why don't you raise your hand, right? How many times have you walked in and looked at those idiots standing in line going, what the hell is their problem? Don't they know you can order ahead? The greatest piece that was added to the app was mobile ordering at the airport for idiots like me who live at the airport, because that's where it was the longest lines ever. Now you can order advanced at the airport. This app is so freaking sophisticated. It has advanced AI that knows how often you order, what you order, and it knows when you're not ordering. And when you're not ordering, you know what pops up into your app? Customized gamification. Hey Chris, we know you love that Starbucks green tea lemonade. Well, we also know that we're your favorite breakfast place. And your favorite breakfast is a double smoked bacon breakfast sandwich. You haven't ordered one in 2 weeks. So Chris, if you come order one this week, twice, I'll give you 25 extra stars. I don't even know what the hell 25 stars is worth, but I'm going to breakfast twice that week because I need to get those stars. So they not only made it convenient, they made it fun. And it's catered to me because I'm assuring you, if you open your app and I open mine, your favorite's gonna be different than mine, your favorite location is different than mine, and your gamification is gonna be unique to you. Mark?
So when we think about our daily processes and we step into the world of being a consumer, you're out, you're running errands, you pull into a parking lot, and now this is what you see. Most of the parking in that front row is online pickup. Buy online, pick up at the store. It started out of necessity. It stayed because we liked it. 80% have used a pickup locker. 80% of consumers have used a pickup locker. In fact, my phone broke right before this trip. Speaking of convenience, I have 6 kids. It's very convenient. And so
I don't connect those dots, but you keep going with it.
Okay. So had to get another phone, and I didn't have time. I'm thinking in my head that this is usually a 2 to 3 hour adventure for a new phone. I've got to drive to the part of town that I don't like, and it's a lot of traffic. I get down there, there's gonna be some nerdy millennial who treats me like I'm an idiot, and no, I'm not quite a millennial. But you're gonna be in line, it's gonna take forever, they're gonna try to sell you stuff you don't want, and it's this whole thing. And then you get your phone activated, and then you gotta move all your stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I do not have time for this, I gotta get on an airplane. So I hurry up, and I get online, and I'm like, I'll just order one. And it says, pick up in store. It's like, oh, that's interesting, I click it. I get a text, it says, my phone is ready to pick up in the locker. So I go there, and I walk in, past the line of all the people, I go to my locker, I pull my phone out, and I'm like, okay, well, we still have to do all this other stuff, right? And so I said to the guy, I said, hey, do I put my SIM card in there? Or he looked at me like I was from the 1980s. He said, just turn it on. I said, wait, but I gotta put my transfer and activate. He said, when you turn it on, it activates. The other one deactivates. I was in and out in 10 minutes. All my stuff wirelessly transferred. So many things in that process happened. On the way there, I was worried about my order. I called. As soon as I called on the phone, it said, hello, Mark. How are you doing today? Are you calling about your recent order? All of that AI, all of that technology working together, our world is changing massively. And the question is, are we changing with it? When we look at the customer process, putting my MBA hat back on from optical, awareness used to be a newspaper, a yellow book ad. It's changed to online ads and other forms of media. Consideration now happens through blogs, social media. Is this the place that I would like to go? Meeting them where they are. The purchase, whereas it always used to be in store, now it's this weird blend. Sometimes it's buy online completely, sometimes it's buy online, pick up in store. It is a blend. Retention. In our industry, that's typically a paper recall card. Many of us now use email, SMS, and various other forms of media to accomplish that, but these things are changing. Advocacy now is Google reviews. So all of these are changing, and they're becoming more convenient. As we look at some of the data from the Vision Council, 73% of those who chose online because of convenience. No need to drive. Can shop anytime, day or night, 61% said that. Can compare prices or products more easily. Are you noticing a theme in all of these? More, easy, no traffic, don't deal with this stuff. In the beginning, we didn't want to deal with technology. Now we found it's not so bad. Now I don't want to deal with traffic. I don't want to deal with the store. I don't want to deal with these other things. But here's something else that is very interesting. Convenience was also a top reason to visit your optometrist. That tells me a number of things. One, it tells me some offices are not convenient, but some are. Some are doing things to be more convenient.
I asked that question at the beginning. Have you asked yourself, why do we do it this way? I'm going to ask you a different question now. Same church, different pew. Have you experienced something someplace else and said, we should do it this way? Do you want to share what you thought about it?
Yeah, saying that, going, for instance, with Starbucks, because our daughters love it, you know, going through order pickup, you know, I said it would be great to dispense, you know, contact lens trials. That way we're, you know, we direct ship everything for product, but for trial pickup, you know, it would be nice if they could just drive up and grab it out of a box and go anytime.
That's a great idea. And I said to Mark when we were working this presentation, I want to take people to a place to where there's no boundaries, right? Because we're so encumbered in the office. When we're in our practices and we're working, we're trying to get through our daily routine. I want to take the time in this 35 minutes to really get you to open your mind of what's holding us back. We're going to have paperwork, we're going to have patient care, we're going to have follow-up, we're going to have fires, right? But what time do you get to put into your business for innovation? So think about some of the reasons that you're seeing up here, and we can go to the next slide now, and combine it with this information. So this survey was done in August of 2022. So the Vision Council does all kinds of surveys online, and they wanted to find out why people were going online. And 53% of the online users in the month of August that were surveyed were previous in-purchase eyewear. So think about that number. 53% of the people who bought online eyewear in August were previously in person. That's a significant number. It's an important number. 64% of them bought it on their smartphone. So now I point this out for a very good reason. Think about your own websites. Most of your websites were built for a laptop view. And when you're in your office and somebody says, well, I was on your website, and when you go check your website, where do you check it? On your laptop. It doesn't look the same on a phone. Doesn't feel the same on a phone. I challenge each of you to think about what's the phone experience for your business. This number, I want to ask the important question. Does this number surprise you? That 64% of the people who bought eyewear in August were single vision wearers? Is there anything about that number that seems odd?
Back to school.
Nope, that's not what we're looking for. You're out. Anybody else? It's obvious. You're just overthinking it. The number is low. Remember, online eyewear is about convenience. So it should be like 90% single vision. That's a no-brainer. Pop in 3 numbers, you're done. That means 36% of them were multifocal wearers. That's a scary number, especially for the lens manufacturers. Because multifocals are where the profits are. So if you're thinking about that trend, we're now starting to see the next evolution, because who are the people that are now starting to adapt to it, or adopt it, if you will, that weren't? It's me. It's not my kids. It's me. Next slide.
So as we talk about convenience, and it falls into different categories, again, easy ordering options. Is it easy? Look into your own office. Is it easy to order? Is it easy to make payments? Another thing that goes along with convenience is orders right the first time. That's very much a convenience issue. Another trip is pretty inconvenient. Easy pickup options, like you mentioned, for trial lenses, and there's other ways that you can have and incorporate easy pickup options. So we're going to discuss merging these retail concepts that we see out there that are so advanced into our optical practice. Do we have some kind of online product offering? When someone comes to your site, are they going to be able to find what they need, or just staff bios? You know, if you go to Amazon.com, you're not going to find a bio of Jeff Bezos. This thing has a mind of its own. you're not going to find a biography of him and his staff and everybody else. You're going to immediately see what you need. Replace my glasses, replace my contacts, order a new pair, order sunglasses. What is my warranty? What insurances do you take? And when you think about all of those things are burdening your receptionist. Those things are bogging down your receptionist, taking a lot of those calls, and your staff trying to take those calls. So online product offering, virtual try-on, which is one of the things we specialize in. Easy web-based ordering. We've all adopted that. Many of us have adopted that for contacts. How many of us here have some kind of portal or way to order contacts online? Yeah. So we've done that for contacts. We know that that is in demand for contacts. Digital patient communication. A lot of us have adopted that. We've incorporated that in, whether it's automated text messages. We've come to rely on those. In fact, I'll tell my doctor, he'll say, hey, you were late for your appointment and you missed your appointment. I'll say, I didn't get a text. That's where we've come to now. The onus is on you now. I blame them. I'm like, I didn't get a text. I don't know what I'm doing today. And that's where we've come to. Digital order tracking. There's companies that you can plug in and plug right into your EHR and track the order and reduce that burden on your receptionist of fielding those calls. And it gives them a peace of mind. Okay, I just spent $600-700 on a pair of glasses and I know right where it's at. It's such a mysterious process to the consumer. They're like, why does this take so long? They don't realize that every single lens is custom made for them. So there's so much there, and there are ways that we can incorporate these things, these technologies of convenience into our practices. We get kind of a blind eye sometimes, and I heard a consultant once say, walk in the front door of your practice and act like you've never been there before. Look around. Look at your frame boards. Look at your reception area, your waiting area. Look at all those things like you're just visiting for the first time. How does this work for you? Think of yourself busy running errands, and now I've got to get glasses. Is this the convenient stop on your trip? Is this the stop you enjoy on your trip? The one you look forward to on your trip?
Well, I just want to add to that, Mark, real quick. If you're uncomfortable walking in the front door of your own practice and assessing your own practice, I overheard a little bit of the last presentation. You have lots of reps that walk in your office. And you have lots of reps that walk in other offices out there. Ask them to be candid, tell you what you're doing well in terms of patient presentation, interaction. If they've seen any really cool things out there, what's the kind of technology that they're wowed by. So I'll share this with you. I have been, in the last 5 weeks, I've been in an airplane a lot. I've stayed in 12 different hotels, been in 8 different cities. And the coolest hotel experience I've had so far was a brand new hotel in my own little town that we went and spent the night. And they had a robot that delivered room service. Have you seen that? It looks like a Xerox copy machine from 1988. I'm not kidding you. It's about this tall, and it's a robot. And when you go to your room, you just scan and you tell it what you want. And then the robot is downstairs in the lobby, so everybody can see it, right? It's got like a little flashing light. Check out the name of the robot is whatever, I don't remember. But you check it out, and then the robot, if you've seen it, it's like the coolest damn thing. I mean, because a hotel is a hotel after a while, but they go, this hotel has a robot. And it's really cool, because it comes out of its little section, goes over to the desk, picks up the stuff, and then goes back. My podiatrist has a robot to take me to the exam room. And I'm thinking that's gotta be the most ridiculous damn thing ever because it's slower than the actual person can walk. But it's a cool experience. It's unique, it's different. I'm not advocating all of you get a robot to take patients from room to room. I'm just saying in general, it's what separates them because outside of that, it's a podiatrist office. It looks just like another kind of office. But they tell you, hey, meet. And they're gonna take you to the room. And there's this little robot and I gotta follow it. And it talks to me along the way. It asks me a question. How are you today? I'm like, oh, great. Well, how are you? This way. I'm like, okay. So those are the types of things that it changes it changes the experience. Because that's one word that we often lose, the experience. And we're in Orlando. Orlando is all about experience. That's how one park separates itself from the other, right? Is the experience. So think about your office experience. Think about the patient experience and all these different things and innovation that you can encounter. Mark, your video, brother.
So, yeah, as we think about that journey, we've talked about it a little bit, alluded to it a little bit, but where does it start? Where does that journey for that patient start? It starts online. For most consumers, we either don't exactly remember the name of our optometrist's office, or we don't exactly remember, was it between Starbucks and Arby's, or was it between, I don't know, I go there every 2 years. And so it starts with Google. And so essentially they're going to Google your office. They may click on the website. And I want you to think this through. What do they see? What does it tell them? Does it tell them what they're looking for? One, they want to know about appointments. They may want to know about insurance coverage. Maybe they're there because Johnny just broke his glasses and they just need a pair. Does your website immediately guide them through those processes? This is how to get an appointment. This is what to do if you need a replacement pair. This is what you do if you need contacts, etc. It's been a couple years, I don't know if I need a new exam for contacts. Does it tell them that? What does your website tell them? Because that is the beginning of this journey now. It used to begin with the yellow pages. I'm old enough to remember, and I had a phone that you guys remember that? I still have nightmares that there's an emergency and I keep getting the number wrong. Oh, I gotta start over. So, it's changed so much. It begins with Googling that office many times. In fact, the Vision Council says they visit on average 2.1 websites before coming in. Chris?
So this is something you rarely hear a presenter say. Everybody take out your phone.
Yes.
Come on out, take them all out. Let's go, take out your phones. Let's go, people. I want to see some phones. Oh, you've already got yours out, sorry. Okay. Feel free to put it in your hand now. Because I want you to open your screen. I want you to open your screen. Because your screen is different than my screen. Your screen is unique to you. Your screen is what you've created for you. So you're either A, the very organized person that has 352 apps conveniently located in about 12 widgets, and each widget is very specific. This is my fashion widget, this is my travel widget, this is my shopping widget, this is my travel widget, whatever. Or you're like me, and you've got 8 pages because I'm not going to give in to the damn widget. I'm going to keep scrolling sideways because I like the thumb exercise, damn it. Or you go, okay, you know what? I know what I like. I can just thumb down. I know what I need to see. I can thumb down or I thumb to the left or right. I have all my apps organized on my phone. How many other people have apps organized on their phone? Okay. And would you say by applause? Nah, forget applause. People next door are going to think it's crazy. Okay, just by like just nodding, fast nodding, whatever. More than 50 apps on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, more than 50. Okay, so more than 50% of your apps games?
No.
Ah, so you're not playing a lot on your phone games. You're doing other stuff on your phone. Okay, then you must be like the rest of the world who's now downloading apps at a torrid pace. Because our phones are so stuck to us. Last week I was with a group. It was great. It was tables though. This is different. So it was tables. And it was a table, you live for these moments because it's a table of 5 people and it was 4 women and 1 man. And I was able to say, without offending him, you're the odd man out, right? So, and I did a little exercise with him on their phone and it goes like this. We'll start right here with this row since you were so great. Okay, ladies, no one's the odd man out here. When was the last time you bought something on your phone?
This morning. 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Probably 2 days ago. 2 days.
Wow. I actually had one person proud to say, oh, it's been like 6 months. And I'm like, get a life, right? So, because you need to order something on your phone. The point of the exercise is simply to say that apps are now part of our daily routine. And companies understand that. And what an app is it's a solo environment where they have you. So your phone is your phone, but the app is their app, and then they have all this convenience for you, and they capture. So it's not on the web page. Go back, please. It's not on the web page. So you've probably seen those numbers. All I want to emphasize is this category is growing. It's growing. Like yoga apps constitutes medical app, dental, all these types of apps. So where are the apps in eye care? Right? So who's pioneering apps in eye care? Companies not in eye care. That's the truth, right? So there are companies trying to do it. We have a partner in Canada, has an integrated app and website for their customers. We asked them the million-dollar question. How many of your customers are endorsing their app to the patients? You know what the answer was? Not many. Not to be confused with that really big number, a lot, right? So, not many. So this is interesting because what do apps do? Apps create that convenience. And when you look at the fun things that you can do in an app, you can have check-in. You can have the documents in your app. You can have peruse my eye care. So whether it's your eyewear selection or your contact lens brands that you carry or fun things, apps allow you to send advanced information to them, right? You can do push notifications. Push notifications are different than text messages. Push notifications. Recent information shows people respond faster to push notifications than they do to text. Because it's like ping, it happens all of a sudden. So there's all kinds of things that are happening. These people launched their app last year, Zenni, and 28,000 users daily in the first 90 days. 28,000. They said by the end of the year that they wanted to generate $20 million in sales through the app. And by the way, these are the people that are saying $9.95. Does anybody really spend $9.95 at Zenni? No, they don't. They spend a lot more than that. Zenni knows that. The two largest sellers of blue light lenses, Zenni and Warby. And then the distant third is some obscure gaming site. How does that make sense, right? So when we're talking about convenience, they recognized their convenience model beyond price. And they started promoting the app. And now they have that whole environment for the patients to capture them. So when you think about the app, you think about your phone, your innovators this morning, ask yourself, how do I get real estate on my patient's phone? Because that is where you need to be. Websites are great, but an app is its own environment.
So we want to tie this all together. How do we get convenience into our practice today? What are some ways that we ourselves can become, as Chris said, innovators in our own practice? Because as we mentioned before, convenience is not a dirty word. Convenience means more. It's something that the customer values. Can you create that order pickup spot for contact lenses? I know we have to worry about HIPAA and various other things, but we can innovate. We can come up with ways to do that. Can we designate an in-out parking spot, a way that you can just pull up, come in, get what you need, get out? As we saw on the slide earlier, it's soon going to be, for most consumers, very inconvenient to not join the revolution. Because we're seeing these parking spots show up everywhere, pickup lanes, order lanes. We see QR codes on tables in restaurants now to order your food and tell them which table you're at. It's becoming integrated in every part of our lives. And optical, we're historically slow to grab on. Part of it is, we think of ourselves as medical, and we are, but we are also retail. And consumers are coming in and out, and they're changing their behaviors whether or not we go with them. Do we have a consumer-friendly website? Does it give us, as we mentioned before, does it give us the information we need right up front? Are there easy buttons for everything? Everybody wants an easy button. QR codes were reborn a couple of years ago. They're on everything again.
Right.
And you can use QR codes to scan and fill out your forms. Restaurants have them for menus. I think your church even has them for
yeah, they stopped printing the weekly flyer. They don't waste the paper anymore.
Right.
So you sit down in the pew and you scan the QR code, and there's I was blown away. I went to church and there was a QR code with me, right? So
yeah, no more having to pick up those papers left everywhere.
Well, this morning, right? How many scanned the QR code
to play the game?
Play the game. I was standing in the back door by the lights. I zoomed in. I was surprised it worked. Took me right to it because I tried to type in Kahoot or whatever it was, and it said, "Do you want to buy this URL? Tap here." I'm like, shit, no. I'm sorry, I'm not tapping that. But I typed in something wrong. But I scanned the QR code right there.
With a QR code, they can scan it on the outside of your building and begin browsing frames, trying them on virtually. You can open the doors of your dispensary 24 hours to the world. Think of ways that you can incorporate these things. Instant messaging, pickup reminders. What ways can you become a more simple, seamless process to that customer so that they enjoy their experience with you? They look forward to their experience with you. That it's very convenient for them. It's just like all their other stops along the way. And you've brought innovation in and found ways to make that process convenient. Because again, convenience has a price. This is not about devaluing your practice. Every time you hit the convenience store for the next couple of weeks, I want you to think about this and think about your office. How can we make this office more convenient? Because customers pay for convenience. And the price is only related to how convenient it is. The online price market has flipped. It used to be that people just went online for a deal, but the data now says they go online for convenience. If you go on Amazon and look up some of your favorite books, the Kindle version is more than the paperback. Why? Because it's more convenient. If you go online, and I like Crocs. Does anybody wear Crocs? I just feel like there's both of you. Great. Awesome. I'm glad you're both with me. Crocs online, I know you probably haven't Googled them, but they're more delivered this afternoon by Amazon than they are store pickup. Why? Because the store knows they have to compete with online's convenience, so they've dropped their in-store price to be less than online. This is a shift that's happening, and it's good news for us because we've been terrified of online optical in our industry. We're just terrified of low cost, and it's not about cost anymore. It's about convenience, and we can be convenient.
Yeah, and this list that Mark and I created, this is just lists that we put together looking from the outside from our travels. You're probably going to have way more ideas than what you can do in your practice, because maybe some of these don't work for your practice, but there's ways to innovate inside your practice that can change the experience for your patient and make it to where they go, this is so great, look what my practice does now. I'll give you an example of inconvenience. So unfortunately, I got runner's knee, so I had to go through physical therapy. And as I try to schedule, it says, call this number to schedule. And when you call, you know what it says? Leave a message. Because there's no one on the phone. You can log in and try to go that way, but I was looking for a very specific PT person because I needed a runner PT. So I had to leave a message. 3 days later, they called me and they left me a message. You know what I had to do? Call them back and leave a message. It was the longest damn game of tag ever. So eventually I had to go to the clinic, walk into the clinic and say, look, we're playing this endless game of phone tag. I need an appointment. And I got my appointment scheduled. And when I left, my PT said, make sure you schedule an appointment. So I go back out, and he said, well, we can't schedule you for next week, we can schedule you for the week after. We'll put you on the waiting list. I'm like, well, here we go again. So I haven't been able to really fulfill my PT because it's been inconvenient. That's an example of inconvenience, right? It gets better. They send me the email that says, hey, you need to pay because you got insurance these days. You got to wait for your insurance. You don't want to pay them up front. So they send me the email. Here's what you owe. You can click on this link to pay your bill. I click on the link. It says error code 505. Why is it always 505 and 404? I don't understand that, right?
I can explain to you.
Okay, tell me later. But it's 505 and 404 every damn time. So I called them. Guess what I did? Left them a message. 2 days later, I'm sitting in the hotel room just the other day. They call and they say, okay, we're here to call you. And go, by the way, where are you calling from? I live in Vancouver, Arkansas. I'm like, I love your accent. I love that Arkansas accent. But they outsourced it, right? Because it was convenient for them, not for me. I love my physical therapist. I hate everything else about their processes. But I'm not going to give up that guy because he is the runner, guru, right? So, and I want to run again. So, but I'm struggling with that. The day that I find a more convenient provider with a PT that I trust, adios, amigos, I'm gone. So I share that story because they're just going through the motions, right? It's a medical clinic. I have to do business with them. A lot of times we run into eye care professionals that go, well, they have to come to see me for this. Eventually, technology will tell them they don't. So please, look at this list. Think about what you're doing in your practice, about what you should be doing in your practice. Embrace change, embrace ideas, because that's how innovation gets started. And innovation leads to the better patient experience. And sometimes it leads to more profitability. And sometimes it leads to more business. And sometimes it leads to better reviews on Google. All these different things that we want to achieve. Mark?
Again, we thank you guys for coming and listening to us. And we hope that, we travel around, we go in a ton of offices. I was doing the math. I've been in almost 400 offices, I think, in my career. I've seen a lot of things, and everything I get, I draw from you all. I learn from you. I walk in an office, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So again, as you go out back to your practices, you stop by a convenience store, I want it to ping in your mind and you think, how do I make my office more convenient? Because you really can charge for that. Thank you, everybody.